Hello everyone, this is Raghu. Welcome to the Salesforce Trailhead video series. In this video, we will see how to create a Lightning component with server-side Apex controller, which means like we'll be creating a component and then Apex controller and trying to hook both the controller and the component. And once we hook up, they'll try to save some files and then we'll see like how the output looks like. And this is basically like understanding a flow kind of from the UI onto the backend, calling the server side controller and then getting the data onto the UI. Okay, so this is how it looks like we'll be creating a component, upload files component, and we'll upload a picture to the users and we'll do that. So in that, there are a few changes that we need to make. So if you see the existing data model, I'll go back to the uh, trailhead playground, and in the trailhead playground we need to edit some of the objects that we have created already. So click on the object manager and look for the speaker object. So in this speaker object we'll try to add a few more columns. Field, new field, click on fields and relations and then new field, and select for, look for the field of type text. Okay, and say next, and here it should be and length we say like 255. Say next, next, and we say save and new. And in here we will be creating or storing a picture. Okay, so for this the data type will be a formula field. So let's look for, yeah, the formula field. Say next, and say picture, and the file name is picture, and the formula type, the return type, it says it is text is what we are trying to select, and say next. So in here we can write a picture saying like, hey, get me the picture and insert it into the UI, and it is of a specific size. So let's go back, and this is the formula that we are going to use. So the formula will get the picture path, will, whenever we upload a picture, it will be stored in a specific path. So that path it will get it and it will resize and it will show it to us. So this is the image picture path that we are doing, saving, and then just say save, next, and save. Okay, so now we have added two fields to our speaker object. Now the next part, go to the developer console, and in the developer console we will be creating a new lightning component. So the lightning component name is image uploader. Image uploader, lightning record page. We'll select again and say submit. Okay, it again opens the .cmp file, the .component file, where we need to write this logic. Copy this logic, delete this existing code, paste it, and save the file. Okay, so basically what happens is like, this is the file uploader. It takes in a specific formats, PDF or PNG or JPG, and it tries to save it, and this saved record we can see it on our screen. Okay, so we have created a component. Done. The next step that we need to do is, whenever we select a file using this component, we need to send that file to the Apex controller class and save it. Okay, for that we're going to create a new controller, new Apex class, and the name that we're going to give is attachment. Say okay, the attachment controller, and in the attachment controller we are going to write this method. Okay, so before you update this in the attachment controller, just understand that all the code that we are writing here is just the method. So just don't delete anything, just write inside the curly brackets. Okay. And even if you follow the instructions pretty carefully, it says like in the body of the class between the braces, enter the following code. It's not, don't delete the existing class functionality and the class name here, and don't paste as is. Just make sure that you follow those comments and read those. Okay. So here we have created an attachment controller. So what happens is like this update picture path is the method that will be called, and this will try to update any picture path or documents that we are trying to save from the UI, and it will be updated in the UI2. Okay. So now let me go back to the image uploader component. So now how will this image uploader component will call this exact controller class, because there might be many controllers in my org, right, in the Salesforce org. So what I do is I will go ahead and update the first line, the aura component tag. So all I need to do is, if I go back here, you see here the aura component tag has a special line called as comp controller attachment controller. So this is the exact controller that we have, controller class that we have created. So controller equal to attachment controller. So all I do is go back to the developer console, and you can copy that entire line and remove the first line and paste it. If not, like just adding the controller equal to attachment controller will do that for us. Okay. So just save it. Okay, done. So once we create this controller, so all we need to do is we need to make sure that we can associate or we can make some minor changes to this client side controller to make sure that it calls the attachment controller apex and all those things, and does some JavaScript functionality. So for the sake of keeping it simple, instead of me trying to explain like each and every concept, like I'm trying to copy at least the next part of the few slides, the code that is existing. So this is like, again, I'm trying to change the existing client side controller stuff. Okay, sorry, the image uploader component I'm trying to update. Okay, save it. Then I've called an on upload finish. So this is something like calling a JavaScript functionality. So now I'm calling the JavaScript functionality. See the handle upload finished. So this is like from this component, I'm calling this JavaScript functionality. This JavaScript functionality, let me copy and go back to this controller. Click on this controller on the right hand side. So it will again open a new .js file, delete everything and paste it. So handle upload functionality finished. So this is the save it, and this is the JavaScript file that will be called, and this in turn calls the attachment controller. So this attachment controller has a method called update picture path. See here, update picture path. That update picture path will be called because we have written .c update picture path here. So it calls that specific controller's method. Okay, so we are done with creating the component. Now here comes the next set of guidelines are kind of slightly, I don't say tricky, but for those of you who are doing it for the first time, just follow it kind of carefully. It's pretty easy to do that. So go back to your Trailhead playground, and in here click on speakers. So remember what we're trying to do. We are trying to update the pictures for specific users. Okay, sessions. Okay, let me refresh this page. Go back to speakers. Okay, now I see here picture path, picture profile. Previously when I was going into that, it did not show me these two fields which I. So in here, okay, in this empty space, we are going to add the new image uploader component that we have created. So for that, all I need to do is click on the gear icon, and in here it has an option called edit page. Okay, click on that edit page, And just make sure that whenever you make edits on this page, just be very careful if you're doing this for the, so that, because like by default you don't add any unnecessary components. On the left hand side, when you see where you see the lightning components, just scroll down or up to make sure that you find the component that you have created. See, it shows the custom components, which is something which we have created, a custom component. So I have created an image uploader. So I select the image uploader, drag and drop onto the right hand side box. See here, there is a box here, right? So I'm dragging and dropping that into the box. So it shows the, which is like the image uploader. So now all I do is I'll go ahead and I will save this. So if you are saving this, it asks for, hey, do you want me to activate this? Yes, you need to activate that. And it asks for like, hey, do you want this to be org by default or app default or stuff? Just make sure that this is there only for the specific app, the specific page layout which we are saving. And we say like assign as something like app default. Okay, and which app it asks for, hey, for which app you want to make it as a default. So since we are working on a conference app, so just select the conference app and say next. Yes, save it. So once you have saved this file, activation, everything is done. Click on the back button to return back to the page. So now in this speakers page, if you come back to the speakers page, you will be able to notice that you will be able to see a new upload files image, the component that we have created. Now select this upload files. Okay, select a picture. Okay, the picture is being uploaded and it says done, successfully uploaded. Just try to refresh this page. See, you should be able to see the picture that we have uploaded. So this means like we are trying to associate, we have written a component in such a way that this component takes the data from the UI, takes it to the controller, saves it and updates in the database so that we can get the picture here. Okay, so in this module we have created a new component and associated with the lightning component and associated with the apex class, and then made changes to the page layouts and stuff. So now let's go back and verify the steps that we have done. Hopefully if everything goes good, we should get again the 100 points that were assigned to this module. Okay, so there is something which did not went well. There was an unexpected error in your org which is preventing the assessment check. Limit has no rows for assignment to s object. Okay, so it shows like there were some exceptions. So let's check what is the exception. So yeah, finally, like that was a small issue with the uh, controller class that I need to save. I properly, like I just saved it, and we're able to complete this assessment successfully. Okay, thank you. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.